Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Olywiz UV6S. Okay guys, so in this video I'm just going to show you a quick overview of the features and settings on this radio. We'll go through the menus on this, we'll look at the programming, and then in a later part I'll do some range testing and show you how these things work. So the first thing that sort of jumps out at you is it's very similar to the Bofeng UV5R. LED flashlight on the top, speaker mic port on the side, similar keypad with some slight variations, similar buttons on the side. Yeah, very similar to the Bofeng UV5R. It's even got the very same stock antenna as well, but the thing with this is the battery, you can see, is a hell of a lot bigger. Really chunky battery, but I'll come to that in a little while. So, just some of the features on this radio. The frequency range is VHF and UHF, so it's 136 to 174 MHz on VHF and 406 to 470 MHz on UHF. It has an output power of 5 watts. It has switchable dual band and dual frequency standby. It's IP54 rated, so it's dust proof and splash resistant, so it's not waterproof and it's not submersible. A lot of people seem to make that mistake with some of these radios. It has 128 channels, has a scan and monitor function, FM radio. It's got a lithium-ion battery with it, along with a charger. Low power alert when the battery gets low. It's got a built-in LED torch and flashlight, as you would expect, and then 3 colours of the backlight on the screen: orange, blue, and purple. So yeah, very similar to the UV5R, but that battery is quite chunky. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at what else we get inside the box, and then we'll just have a look at the radio in a little bit more detail. So this is the box that they come in, and we've got another handset in here. And the battery just slides on like so. Okay, inside we've got the charger base, and we've got a 3-pin adapter plug there for that charger base. There's obviously two of those in there because we've got 2 radios. We've got a couple of wrist straps. Got the other antenna for the other radio, which just screws in like so. Got a couple of bags of screws there for the little belt clips that go on the back of the radio, and of course the belt clips themselves, so nothing actually out of the ordinary in the box. Okay, so we've got the radios out. First thing I'm going to do is take that little screen protector off. And as you can see, if we look on the side, we've got monitor and scan buttons. These are programmable. We've got the PTT switch here. We've got our LED flashlight and the on-off and volume control. Of course, the antenna on the top. We've got a speaker mic port on the side, which is the standard Kenwood style speaker mic port. And of course, we've got the rubberized keypad on the front there with function A and B and VFO switch button, up and down arrows, and then of course a numerical keypad. So quite straightforward, quite simple, guys. Nothing out of the ordinary there. The battery on the back, as you can see, is a 2000 mAh 7.4 volt lithium ion battery, so really large size battery. And what I'll actually do is compare it to the UV5R battery. You can see it's quite a lot bigger. So the UV5R battery is 1800 mAh, this is 2000 mAh, so definitely going to provide you with a little bit more juice and added standby time, and of course added operational time as well. Got some technical information on the back of the radio there as always, and as I said before, the battery just clips into place like so. So what I thought I'd do now, guys, is show you through the menu functions on this radio, because it's very similar to the UV5R. I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you all the features and settings in these radios and just do a bit of an overview on those. So number 0, if we click on the function menu, we've got squelch. So this changes the receiver's sensitivity. We've got our frequency step, so that changes the frequency step when you're operating, so you can start at 6.25 kilohertz. Oops. And change your frequency step as required. We've got transmit power, so you can set this to low or high. We've got the battery save, so this is the length of time the radio is in standby before it starts to receive. We've got Vox on and off, which is voice operation, so voice activated operation. We've got wide and narrow, so this changes between wide and narrow bands, so wide and narrow deviation. ABR is the display illumination time, so that's how long the backlight will stay on for. We've got TDR, so that's dual watch receive, so that allows monitoring of both VFOs. We've got beep, which turns the keypad beep on and off. We've got our timeout timer, so this will turn the transmitter off after a certain amount of time. We've got receive DCS, which is basically a DCS code set in to receive, so if two radios have the same DCS tone, they'll be able to talk to each other. If they don't, then one radio won't hear the other. We've got receive CTCSS, which is basically the same function but with CTCSS tones. We've got transmit DCS and then transmit CTCSS, which is basically the option to transmit with a DCS code or a CTCSS code enabled. We've got voice on or off, which is the voice prompt on the radio, so you can set that to English or Chinese. ANI ID is the automatic number ID, so this is set with the software. DTMF ST. This is DTMF tone on transmit, so this is sent when the PTT is transmit and released. S code is signal code, so this you can set 1 of 15 DTMF codes with this. SCRAV, that's the scan resume method, so you can set that to resume after a certain amount of time, after a certain when a carrier is dropped, and there's other settings in there. PTT ID, so this is when to send the PTT ID signal code. So you can have it on at the beginning of a transmission, at the end of a transmission, or both. PTT LT, this is basically the signal code send delay. MDF A and MDF B, so that is the channel mode of display on VFO A or VFO B, so we can set it to frequency, channel or channel number. BCL off, that's busy channel lockout, so it prevents transmit on a busy channel. Auto LK, so that's the automatic keypad lock, so it'll lock if that's turned on after 8 seconds of standby. SFTD, that's frequency shift direction, so that's repeater, so you can select a plus or minus offset. You can select your offset there. Memory channel, so you use that for writing a memory channel to the radio, and then del CH is to delete a memory channel. WT LED, so that is what colour you want the radio's screen to be on standby. RX LED is what colour you want the radio screen to be when you're receiving, and then TX LED is what colour the radio screen you want when the radio is transmitting. AL mod, that's the alarm, so you can set that to turn on over the speaker or over the air. Band, so we've got band VHF, so that's to select between VHF and UHF. TDR AB, that basically selects which VFO you want to transmit on while the radio is in dual watch. STE, that's a squelch tail elimination, so it stops the squelch tail after transmit. RPSTE, that's the repeater squelch tail elimination, so stops the squelch tail on a repeater. RPTRL, that delays the squelch tail on a repeater. PONMSG, that's the power on message, so you set that in the software. Roger turns the Roger beep tone on and off after transmit. And then reset has two functions. It'll either erase VFO settings or erase the whole radio. Okay guys, so what we'll do now, we'll switch to the laptop and we'll look at programming on these radios. Okay guys, so programming on this radio is really simple, as you'd expect. If you go to the Olywiz website, the link is in the description below, and just download the UV6S programming software and steps by clicking on download. That'll open a download and it'll download a RAR file which you can just extract and install. Once you've done that, the software looks like this, really straightforward. So basically on the main screen you've got the options to put your frequencies in, so we'll run through that first. So what you need to do with these radios, any radio that you buy, you should always program to your correct frequencies to make sure you're legal. They'll all come with a set of test frequencies in which are illegal or may be illegal to transmit on in your country, so it's always a good idea to download the radio's information and write a new one. You do that by clicking on communication port select. Now I haven't got anything plugged in, but if you plug your standard UV5R style Kenwood programming cable in, it will pick it up on your computer, and you just select your communication port and click OK. Once you've done that, you can click on program and you can read or write to the radio. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from scratch. So basically I'll show you how to transmit a simplex frequency and a duplex frequency. So we'll do simplex first. So we're going to select our band, so VHF, UHF. We'll do that for both. And then on the first frequency we'll put the receive frequency in, which is 433.5 in our case, and then the transmit frequency will keep the same because it is a simplex channel. Decode CTCSS or DCS, you can select those codes in there, but we're going to keep that to off. Same with encode, we'll keep that to off. We'll set the transmit power to high. We'll set the deviation to narrow. We'll add it into the scan list. We'll turn off busy lockout, and then signal code you can just keep to 1 because we're not going to have anything programmed for that. And then what you can do is put a name in. So we'll put 70 centimeters in for there, and that's a simplex channel. For a duplex or a repeater, receive frequency is the repeater's output, so in this case it's 433.350. Transmit frequency is the input, so in our case it's 434.950. We don't want a DCS code or CTCSS code to be decoded, but we want to send one. We want to encode our signal with one of those tones, so we'll select 82.5 because that's the repeater's CTCSS tone. We'll keep the power to high, keep the deviation to narrow, and we'll keep everything else the same, and I'm going to name that GB3MR, which is my local repeater. Once you've done that, you're good to go, but you need to look at the main settings on the radio as well. So if we go on edit, you can go on available functions, and then this is where you set your timeout timer. So we'll keep that to really high. We've got squelch level here, which I always set to 1. Oops. We've got Vox, we've got our Roger beep. Basically every function that's in those menus that I showed you before is in this programming software, so it's really simple, quite easy to use. We can select our channel mode, we can select our FM radio on and off. We've got settings there for VFO A and VFO B. Plenty of stuff in here to keep you busy, but I'm not going to run through all the settings because it is quite similar to the UV5R software, just everything's in a bit of a different order. So once you've done that, you can just click OK. We've also got quite a nice function in here where you can actually batch edit channels, so you can apply a CTCSS code to every single channel that you input and things like that, so it just makes it a little bit easier to batch edit, but again, quite simple software, quite easy to use. So don't know about you, but I'm quite happy to just run through it like this and just input frequencies like so. So yeah, quite straightforward, guys. Once you've got everything you need programmed in, just click on program, click on write to radio, and you're good to go. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that one. That sort of concludes part 1 in this series on the Olywiz UV6S. I think you'll agree it's a nice radio. I'm definitely a fan of it. It has all the sort of home comforts of the Bofeng UV5R, but it's definitely got that added rugged ability. It's more rugged than the UV5R anyway, and it's got that chunky battery on the back, which is definitely a bonus. It's going to last quite a lot longer than the UV5R. Stock antenna, I'll definitely upgrade, but that goes for any sort of radio. I would always upgrade the antenna anyway, but yeah, I can't see any issues with it at all. Programming software is pretty simple to use, and of course you've got that Bofeng style software in there, so if you know how to use one of these, you're not going to have any issues using one of these either. Okay, so I'll leave that one there. If you want to buy this radio, the link is in the description below. If you want to download the programming software, the link is also in the description down below as well. I'm going to be doing some range testing with this at a later date, so stay tuned for that. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions or feedback, put them in the box below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed the video, click the thumbs up button, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you click subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Cheers. 7-3 for now.